All right, so what we're gonna do is just wipe out these cylinders just one last time, just before everything goes on. Hopefully you guys can see all of that. Let me maybe move it a little closer here so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. But what we'll do, just wipe the cylinder walls out. Ideally you want this to be pretty much the same, like the blue color. I use this crank turn tool, which is pretty good tool to have. Let's see, you just get a 1/2 inch breaker bar or something. Then we can move the crank. We can move the things here, but what we'll do is kind of move that. All right, so now we've got our surface here. What we're gonna do now is install these dowel pins, which go in the head. There's 2 of them for each side, and they each go in diagonal. You'll see the little indent, and then let me see if I can get you kind of closer in there. There's an indent for them, so you can't really mess it up, and they won't fit in the oil holes. So now that's good. What I like to do is put the studs in first. I don't like to put the head on there. I like to put the studs on just so it has something to, you know, kind of hold the head on there. Because if you don't, and you just leave the head on here, there's a potential that the head might fall off, and you don't want that. So just be careful and kind of, you know, just watch what you're doing. But we're gonna go ahead and get those head studs, install those, put the head gasket on, and then we'll set the head on there. All right, so I've got the block here prepped on this side. I've got our head studs. These are ARP head studs. I'll put the part number on the screen there. But if you look at these, you got a short side here, and you got a long side with the threads. These long sides with the threads go down in the block, and these will come up on the head. And you'll know because there's a hex. See if you can see that. I don't know. There's a hex right there. Now you don't want to use an impact and, you know, jam these things in there. That's just there to kind of help you work them in there and bottom them out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all these in. There should be what, 2, 4, 6, 8. There should be 10 on each side. So I'm gonna put these in and then we'll get back. All right, so we got these studs in there. They're gonna be all pretty much the same height. If one's like a little lower than the other one, that's fine. It's not gonna hurt anything. Another thing with these, it depends. Like ARP states to not put any lube on the bottom threads that go into the block. Some guys put like oil and stuff on them. You can if you want. I mean, it's not gonna hurt or, you know, do anything. But I'll put mine in dry. They've got a little bit of oil on them, but I mean, it's nothing crazy. So the next thing that we've got is going to be the head gaskets. So I've got the head gaskets here. Well, I've got the 2 here. I believe. Yeah, so there's going to be 2 different part numbers here. I actually don't know which one is the left side and the right side, but they are size specific, so don't put them on the wrong side. Because I believe you might be able to actually do that. I'm not sure. Let me open these up and I'll show you. All right, so we got the head gaskets unwrapped. So if you look at the head gaskets right here, it will say an R, and the other one, it will say an L. And you got to make sure they're facing the right way, or else it won't go on. You can see the L right there. You know, but this is the right side, and you know, you can only put them on because these have the little ears there and in the back. So this thing is going to go on. It should go on just like this. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't. I told you wrong. It actually goes on like this. So you don't want to have it flipped. So make sure that when you put it on, you match up the holes. So here's a coolant passage here. Here's oil, 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 oil. You know. So just make sure it goes on right. And actually, hold on, I was wrong. All right, I don't know what I was doing right there, but I was like, my brain was like glitching out for some reason. But these are supposed to go here like that. So just make sure you got that right. Make sure the gasket's on correct. I was right. It should be, as you're looking out the car, it's going to be left or right. Just make sure you have that gasket on correctly. All right, so I didn't record putting the head on because the camera kept on cutting off. But there's sort of a technique when you put the head on. It's you kind of want to like line the holes up with the stud like this, and then kind of tilt the head over, and then it will go down. But you're gonna want to do the same thing for the other side. So I'll do the other side, and then we'll come back and we'll start putting the nuts and everything back on. So I am going to record this part of putting this gasket on. So you just set it down in there, make sure everything's lined up and everything. Make sure it's not caught on the dowel pins because it will get caught on there. But this was the method I was talking about. So you kind of want to find the holes, line them up, and then flip this over. Then it'll go straight on. Real quick, for anyone that doesn't know, for these 4.6, I mean, these gaskets are pretty simple. They have a little tab here, locating tab on both sides, so you'll know which one goes where. They kind of just set in there, press them in. Same thing with this side. Make sure the holes are all lined up and everything. Just like that.